Indian Railways is a statutory body under the ownership of the Ministry of Railways of the Government of India that operates India's national railway system. As of 2023, it manages the fourth largest national railway system by size, with a track length of 132,310 kilometers, running track length of 104,647 kilometers, and route length of 68,426 kilometers, of which 63,456 kilometers is electrified. With more than 1.2 million employees, it is the world's ninth largest employer and India's second largest employer. In 1951, the Indian Railways was established by the amalgamation of 42 different railway companies operating in the country, spanning a total of 55,000 kilometers. The railway network across the country was reorganized into 6 regional zones in 1951 to 52 for administrative purposes, which was gradually expanded to 18 zones over the years. The first steam-operated railway began its journey in 1837 in Madras. And the first passenger train started operating in 1853, running between Bombay and Thane. In 1925, the first electric train ran in Bombay on DC traction. Then, in 1950, the first locomotive manufacturing unit was commissioned at Chittaranjan. And just a few years later, in 1955, the first coach manufacturing unit was set up in Madras. Indian Railways operates various classes of trains, including express, passenger, and suburban trains. In 2018 to 19, Indian Railways operated an average of 13,523 trains daily, covering 7,325 stations and carrying 8.44 billion passengers. Indian Railways also operates different classes of rail freight transport. In 2022 to 23, it operated 8,479 trains on average daily and transported 1,418.1 million tons of freight. Indian Railways operates multiple classes of rolling stock, manufactured by self-owned coach production facilities. As of March 2022, Indian Railways rolling stock consisted of 318,196 freight wagons and 84,863 passenger coaches. As of December 2023, Indian Railways had 10,238 electric and 4,543 diesel locomotives, amongst others. History. Main article: Rail Transport in India. Section History. From 1832 to 1899, the foundation of Indian Railways was laid. In 1832, the proposal to construct the first railway line in India at Madras was made. By 1835, a railway track was constructed between Red Hills and Chintadrippe in Madras and became operational in 1837. This track was hauled by a rotary steam engine imported from England, and it was primarily used for ferrying granite. The railway viaduct near Thane was constructed in 1855, and by 1871, a detailed railway map of India was available. The Madras Railway was established in 1845, and the Great Indian Peninsular Railway was incorporated in 1849. Temporary railway lines were built, such as the railway line at Dalswaram by Arthur Cotton to supply stone for the construction of a dam over the Godavari River in 1845, and the Salani Aqueduct Railway, built by Proby Cotley in Roorkee to transport construction materials for an aqueduct over the Salani River in 1851. In 1852, a steam locomotive imported from England was tried at Byculla. In 1853, the first passenger train on the broad gauge ran for 34 kilometers between Bombay and Thane. This train had 14 carriages carrying 400 people, hauled by 3 steam locomotives, the Sahib, Sindh, and Sultan. The Thane viaducts, the first railway bridges, were built over the Thane Creek when the Mumbai-Thane line was extended to Kalyan in May 1854. Eastern India's first passenger train ran 39 kilometers from Howrah, near Kolkata, to Hooghly on 15 August 1854. Construction on the first main line in the south between Royapuram in Madras and Arcot started in 1853 and became operational on 1 July 1856. On 24 February 1873, a horse-drawn tram opened in Calcutta between Selda and Armenian Ghat Street. On 9 May 1874, a horse-drawn tramway began operation in Bombay between Kolaba and Parel. In 1879, the Nizam's Guaranteed State Railway was established, building railway lines across the then Hyderabad state from Kachiguda. In 1877, an Ajmer-built F1 734 steam locomotive became the first indigenously built locomotive in India. By 1897, lighting in passenger coaches was introduced, with Jodhpur Railway being the first to introduce electric lighting as standard fixtures. The 20th century brought significant advancements for Indian railways. The Railway Map of India in 1909 showed an extensive network. The first railway budget was presented in 1924. On 3 February 1925, the first electric train ran between Bombay and Kurla, hauled by a SLM electric locomotive on DC traction. In the same year, the first electric multiple units, EMU, were introduced in Bombay, with 1,500 VDC units imported from Camel Laird and Erdingen Wagon Fabric. Chennai Suburban Railway started operating in 1931 with a single meter gauge line from Chennai Beach to Tambaram. Between 1925 and 1944, the management of the railway companies in the British presidencies and provinces was taken over by the government. By 1950, there were about 42 different railway companies operating about 55,000 kilometers of tracks across the country. These railway companies were amalgamated in steps to form a single entity named Indian Railways. In December 1950, the Central Advisory Committee for Railways approved the plan for reorganizing Indian Railways into 6 regional zones, with the Southern, Central, and Western zones being the first to be created in 1951. By 1952, fans and lights were mandated for all compartments in passenger trains, and sleeping accommodations were introduced in coaches. The first diesel locomotive used in India was fabricated by North British Locomotive Company in 1954. The first locomotive manufacturing unit at Chittaranjan was commissioned in 1950, and the first rail coaches were manufactured in India from 1956, when the Integral Coach Factory was established at Madras. In 1956, the first air-conditioned train plied between Howrah and New Delhi. By 1957, Indian Railways adopted 25 kV AC traction, with the first runs beginning in December 1959 with the WAM-1 locomotives. The first containerized freight rail transport began between Bombay and Ahmedabad in 1966. In 1969, the Government of India announced the introduction of a new express train capable of reaching speeds of up to 120 km in the railway budget, and the first Rajdhani Express was flagged off from New Delhi to Howrah in March 1969. In 1974, Indian Railways endured a 20-day strike. The first metro rail was introduced in Calcutta on 24 October 1984. By 1986, computerized ticketing and reservations were introduced. In 1988, the first Shatabdi Express was introduced between New Delhi and Jhansi. 2 years later, the first self-printing ticket machine, SPTM, was introduced in Delhi. In 1993, air-conditioned 3-tier and sleeper classes were introduced. By 1995, Chennai MRTS became the first operational elevated railway line in India. Centralized computer reservation systems were deployed in Delhi, Mumbai, and Chennai in September 1996. Coupon validating machines, CVMs, were introduced at Mumbai CSMT in 1998, and the nationwide concierge system began operation on 18 April 1999. The new millennium marked a new era for Indian Railways. The Indian Railways website went online in February 2000. The Indian Railways Catering and Tourism Corporation, IRCTC, was incorporated in 1999, and online ticketing was introduced on 3 August 2002 through IRCTC. By 2015, the first compressed natural gas, CNG-powered trains were rolled out. Since 1925, the railway budget was presented before the Union Budget until 2016. The central government approved the merger of the rail and general budgets from 2017. On 31 March 2017, Indian Railways announced a target to electrify the entire rail network by 2023. In March 2020, Indian Railways announced a nationwide shutdown of passenger service to combat the COVID-19 pandemic in India, with freight operations continuing to transport essential goods. The railways resumed passenger services in a phased manner in May 2020. Introduced in 2019, the Vande Bharat Express, operating on a train set built by ICF, is the fastest train in India. Starting in the 2010s, various infrastructure modernization projects have been undertaken, including high-speed rail, the redevelopment of 400 stations, doubling tracks to reduce congestion, refurbishing of coaches, GPS-enabled tracking of trains, and modernization of locomotives. In 2018, a semi-high-speed self-propelled train set, capable of reaching speeds of over 160 km/h, was rolled out from ICF, and the Vande Bharat Express was launched in 2019. Indian Railways announced plans to become a net-zero carbon emission railway by 2030 and has implemented rainwater harvesting at stations, reforestation along the tracks, the introduction of solar-powered trains, the installation of solar and wind power generation facilities, and sustainable LED lighting at all the stations. Indian Railways removed all unstaffed level crossings by 2019, with staffed level crossings being replaced by bridges. Other safety projects include the extension of an automated fire alarm system to all air-conditioned coaches and GPS-enabled fog pilot assistance system railway signaling devices. In 2020, Indian Railways allowed the operation of private passenger trains for the first time, with the first train flagged off from Coimbatore in June 2022. Organization. Main article: Indian Railways organizational structure. Ministry. Main articles: Ministry of Railways, India, Minister of Railways, India, and Chairperson of the Railway Board. Indian Railways is a statutory body under the ownership of the Ministry of Railways of the Government of India. Main article: zones and divisions of Indian Railways. Indian Railways is headed by a 4-member railway board, whose chairman reports to the Ministry of Railways and acts on behalf of the ministry. The organization is divided into separate verticals: traction, engineering, traffic, rolling stock, signaling, materials, personnel, RPF, finance, health, and safety. Indian Railways is divided into 18 administrative zones, 17 of which are operational. Each zone is headed by a general manager and further subdivided into 71 operating divisions, headed by divisional railway managers, or DRMs. The divisional officers of the respective operating verticals report to the DRMs and divisional heads and are tasked with the operation and maintenance of assets. Station masters control individual stations and train movements through their station's territory. Additionally, there are a number of manufacturing units, training establishments, PSUs, and other undertakings under the purview of the Indian Railways. List of Indian Railway zones. Number 1, Southern Zone, code SR, headquartered in Chennai, established in 1951. Number 2, Central Zone, code CR, headquartered in Mumbai CSMT, established in 1951. Number 3, Western Zone, code WR, headquartered in Mumbai Churchgate, established in 1951. Number 4, Eastern Zone, code ER, headquartered in Kolkata, established in 1952. Number 5, Northern Zone, code NR, headquartered in Delhi, established in 1952. Number 6, Northeast Zone, code NR, headquartered in Gorakhpur, established in 1952. Number 7, Southeast Zone, code SIR, headquartered in Kolkata, established in 1955. Number 8, Northeast Frontier Zone, code NFR, headquartered in Guwahati, established in 1958. Number 9, South Central Zone, code SCR, headquartered in Secunderabad, established in 1966. Number 10, Kolkata Metro Zone, code KR, headquartered in Kolkata, established in 1984. Number 11, East Central Zone, code ECR, headquartered in Hajipur, established in 1996. Number 12, Southeast Central Zone, code Seeker, headquartered in Bilaspur, established in 1998. Number 13, Northwestern Zone, code NWR, headquartered in Jaipur, established in 2002. Number 14, East Coast Zone, code ECOR, headquartered in Bhubaneswar, established in 2003. Number 15, North Central Zone, code NCR, headquartered in Prayagraj, established in 2003. Number 16, Southwestern Zone, code SWR, headquartered in Hubli, established in 2003. Number 17, West Central Zone, code WCR, headquartered in Jabalpur, established in 2003. Number 18, South Coast Zone, code SCORE, headquartered in Visakhapatnam, establishment date to be determined. Railway Personnel and Civil Services. Main articles: Indian Railways Management Service and Railway Recruitment Control Board. Staff are classified into gazetted, which are groups A and B, and non-gazetted, which are groups C and D employees, with gazetted employees carrying out executive and managerial level tasks. As of March 2022, groups A and B constitute 1.5% of the total workforce, while groups C and D account for 98.5%. 80% of Group A employees are recruited through Indian Railways Management Service, with the remaining through promotions. Group B employees are recruited by departmental promotional exams of Group C employees. Recruitment of Group C employees is through exams conducted by the Railway Recruitment Control Board, and Group D staff are recruited by zonal railway recruitment cells. Indian Railways operates 7 centralized training institutes and 295 training centers. It also provides housing, healthcare, and education facilities for staff. Subsidiaries. Indian Railways has various public sector undertakings and other organizations under its purview. Bhartiya Rail Bijli Company, established in 2007 in the power sector, is a joint venture with NTPC with 26% ownership. Braithwaite and Company in the heavy industry sector was established in 1913 and transferred from the Ministry of Heavy Industries in 2010. Centre for Railway Information Systems in the information technology sector was established in 1986. Container Corporation of India in the intermodal freight transport sector was established in 1988. Dedicated Freight Corridor Corporation of India in rail freight infrastructure development was established in 2006. Indian Railway Catering and Tourism Corporation in catering, ticketing and tourism was established in 1999 with 67% ownership. Indian Railway Finance Corporation in financial services was established in 1986. Ercon International in rail infrastructure development was established in 1976. Konkan Railway Corporation in rail infrastructure construction and operation was established in 1990. Mumbai Railway Vikas Corporation in suburban rail operation and development was established in 1999 with 51% ownership. National High-Speed Rail Corporation in high-speed rail construction and operation was established in 2016. Pipavav Railway Corporation in the operation of Pipavav Port Line was established in 2000 as a joint venture with Pipavav Port with 50% ownership. Rail India Technical and Economic Service in consulting was established in 1974. Rail Vikas Nigam in rail infrastructure development was established in 2003. RailTel in telecommunications was established in 2000. Other subsidiaries include Central Warehousing Corporation, Commission of Railway Safety, Central Organization for Modernization of Workshops, Central Organization for Railway Electrification, Indian Railway Health Service, Passenger Amenities Committee, Rail Land Development Authority, Railway Protection Force, Railway Recruitment Control Board, Railways Sports Promotion Board, Research Design and Standards Organization, and Central Railside Warehouse Company Limited. Infrastructure and operations. Rolling stock, locomotives. Close-up of a locomotive with the classification and number. WDM3A indicates a broad gauge, W, diesel, D, mixed use, M, 3100 HP, 3A, locomotive. Main article, Locomotives of India. The first trains in the 1800s were hauled by imported steam locomotives. In 1877, the first locomotive was built in India. Electric locomotives were introduced in 1925 and diesel locomotives later in 1954. By the 1990s, steam locomotives were phased out and are currently operated only on mountain railways and on heritage trains. Locomotives are classified by track gauge, broad, meter, narrow, narrower, motive power, electric diesel battery, function, passenger goods mixed, power rating, times 1000 HP, and model in a 4 or 5 letter code. The locomotives may be longer hood front, LHF, where the driver cabin is behind the hood of the engine, or short hood front, SHF, where the cabin is located towards the front. Multiple units, MU, are propelled by locomotives integrated with train sets. In 2015, the first compressed natural gas, CNG-powered MUs were rolled out by ICF. In 2018, the semi-high-speed self-propelled Vande Bharat train set was rolled out from ICF. Locomotives are manufactured by 5 owned manufacturing units of the Indian Railways and BHL. As of 2021, 37% of the trains are operated by diesel locomotives and the rest mostly by electric locomotives. As of December 2023, Indian Railways had 10,238 electric and 4,543 diesel locomotives amongst others. Passenger coaches. Main article, Indian Railways coaching stock, ICF coach, LHB coach. The early rail coaches were based on a prototype by a Swiss company and were termed as ICF coaches after Integral Coach Factory, ICF, the first coach manufacturing unit in India. These coaches, manufactured from 1955 to 2018, were largely in use till the early 2010s. From the late 1990s, the ICF coaches were replaced by safer and newer LHB coaches designed by Linke Hoffmann Busch of Germany. In the late 2010s, Indian Railways started upgrading the coaches of select trains from LHB to new Tejas coaches with enhanced features. As of March 2022, Indian Railways had 84,863 passenger coaches. Coaches are manufactured by 5 manufacturing units of the Indian Railways and public sector companies, BML and BHL. The coaching stock have unique 5 or 6-digit identifiers. Till 2018, the first 2 digits indicated the year of manufacture, and the last 3 digits indicated the class. In 2018, the numbering system was changed, with the first 2 digits indicating the year of manufacture and the last 4 digits indicating the sequence number. Multiple units. In the 1960s, electric multiple units, or EMUs, were developed for short-haul and suburban rail transit. On regional short-distance routes, mainline electrical multiple units, or MEMUs, and diesel electrical multiple units, or DMUs, are run. These train sets run in formations of 6, 9, 12, or 15 coaches, and a 3-car set typically consists of a motor coach and 2 passenger coaches. These train sets are self-propelled with the capability for faster acceleration or deceleration. In 2018, Indian Railways also rolled out semi-high-speed self-propelled train sets with modified coaches for intercity trains. Goods wagons, a covered wagon and tanker. Indian Railways hauls a variety of cargo to cater to various requirements and has specialized rolling stock corresponding to the cargo hauled. There are 243 types of rolling stock used for cargo operations. These include covered wagons, boxcars, flat wagons, flatbeds, open wagons, hoppers, containers, automobile carriers, defense vehicle carriers, and tankers. The freight cars can often carry loads from 10 to 80 tons per car depending on the configuration. A new wagon numbering system was adopted in Indian Railways in 2003. The requirement of wagons was previously met by Bharat Wagon and Engineering, with the procurement and manufacturing now done by both the public and private sectors. Apart from standard passenger classes, the Indian Railways has other specialized coach types used for dedicated functions. These include accident relief medical vans, brake vans, generator cars, inspection carriages, military cars, pantry cars, and parcel vans. These may be dedicated self-propelled units or attached to train sets. Indian Railways operates various manufacturing units. Chittaranjan Locomotive Works, commissioned in 1950, was the first locomotive manufacturing unit in India. The first rail coach manufacturing unit, the Integral Coach Factory, was established at Madras in 1956. Banaras Locomotive Works, commissioned in 1961, is the second locomotive manufacturing unit operated by Indian Railways. Bechel, Patiala Locomotive Works, Diesel Locomotive Factory, Marhora and Electric Locomotive Factory, Madhepura also manufacture locomotives in India. Railway coaches are also manufactured at coach factories at Karpatala, Revareli,